What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Watch, and today we got an Escanor video, but not really an Escanor video. It's going to be a video explaining the differences between running a UR set on him for HP defense and attack defense. What do I use? What is the preference? What should you be doing? And things like that. So, to start off, pretty much put it simply, either is fine, but there's a trade-off to using one or the other, right? And I'm pretty sure you guys can already tell what the trade-off is. If you use an attack defense set on Escanor, you're getting a lot more damage out of him, and you're going to be able to use him more, you know, or make him more viable in PvP versus an HP defense set. So why in this case do I have an HP defense set instead of a attack defense set on Escanor? The main reason is CC. With this, like, you get my gear is pretty not optimal, right? This one's nice, 14.2, but like you got 13% here, 13, 13, 12, and 12, and this one still isn't UR. So I have a lot of percentage that I can make up on the corner pieces to get them up to 15% with hammers. Do I have any hammers at all? I do have some hammers, right? So you just take a smack at this, and my main stats aren't that optimal either. There we go, that's a nice one, got a 0.2 out of it. But something like this, I'd probably reroll till I get like 2.5 before I hammers on here. But either way, you get the point, right? So why am I using HP defense instead of attack defense? Well, attack defense is definitely more useful in PvP, right? At the end of the day, if you're going to take Escanor onto geared PvP, you're going to have a better chance of doing whatever you're trying to accomplish using attack defense. Whether Escanor is on, this applies to both red and green. If Escanor is on the pen team, attack is the way to go. If Escanor is on essentially any team that isn't mono red using red Escanor, attack will 9 out of 10 times be better. When it comes to mono red team, HP defense is probably more beneficial. You pretty much become unkillable, and you can get your ult and just whack at people while having like 200k, 300k HP, and no one can kill you. But that's really it, right? Like, mono red is the only team that really benefits from Escanor having HP defense. So it comes down to a couple things, right? What are you actually trading off? You can see here that I have around 11,000 attack. I do have full outfits here, right? Oh, that's the UR for the red Escanor. You can see here that if I take this down, move this one up, right, get some defense. Okay, I pretty much have almost full UR. I probably will pick up the set that's currently out so I can get my Escanor full UR, right? I guess I still need one more headpiece. Either way, you get the point. My Escanor CC is relatively high to begin with, and if I had things more perfect-ish, I could probably get them to 51k CC. I think that's like the right number for a UR'd HP defense Escanor. And this is before taking into account the costume upgrades that'll eventually come out in the future to allow you to add some stats onto your costumes. Now, with this, you can see my stats here is about 133k HP, and almost 11k attack, which is a very high attack stat even while having HP defense. Attack defense will probably scale up to almost 13k attack, and possibly higher once you take into account your support unit. Attack defense Escanor will one-shot everything, no problem, while still being tanky, whereas this Escanor will be a little bit more tanky and do a little bit less damage. It's not that much less damage, to the point where it matters, you know, like, oh, you know, you're losing out on an immense amount of damage. But at the end of the day, if you want to have an optimal set for the sake of, like, you don't care about CC, you have zero interest in CC, attack defense is the way to go. So what was my reasoning for going HP defense? Why did I end up picking this? At the end of the day, it really comes down to I do care about CC, and CC is an artificial stat that does not matter that much. It matters in going first, but Escanor, let's say I had a perfect 15% set of HP defense, fully UR'd, max stats, everything, of both attack and defense for Escanor. The HP defense one might get me like 52k CC, whereas the attack defense one might get me 49 to 50k. It's only about a 2k difference, which I guess matters to some extent, but it's still like, who else is having around 50k HP attack defense set in existence, right? Escanor is pretty much the only one who can manage to pull that off. But why do I end up caring about the CC? It's really because it's just an accomplishment, right? For me, I do like having a higher CC. It makes me, it is one of the goals it's one of the reasons why I play the game, right? People play the game for their various reasons. They want to be, enjoy the PvP for what it is, hit a certain rank, do whatever. For me, it is trying to maintain a spot and in the top 100, right? And constantly keep climbing higher. You can see here, 217k CC is what people have at the very, very top. Now, there's 3 people right there within 400 CC of each other. And these are the people that are running, full HP defense Escanor. Like I said, this does not give you some advantage at the end of the day. All it does is give you a higher stat number on this leaderboard, and this only matters for top 100. Now, there is another thing that could potentially affect you, and that is guilds. So, at some point in the future, we will be getting guild battles. It came out for, at some time, before Anniversary on JP, and pretty much got scrapped and sent to the graveyard, or it just wasn't good, right? And they're redoing it, or remaking it, or whatever they're doing to it so that it's actually a viable game mode, but it is coming, right? So Guild Wars is coming. And this matters more for the people. If you're a casual player, I guess it's not as important for you, right? Like, if you're not doing everything every single week, like, oh, you gotta make sure you're Champion 5 every week and ungeared, or, at least did you hit Champion before? And geared, are you hitting Champion every single week? Are you doing your daily daily boss hunts? Are you doing your daily or your weekly guild boss missions, getting maximum amount of rewards, things like that? If you're the type of player who's doing everything and wants to be part of a dedicated guild, regardless of, how broken they are, maybe you're just a free-to-play player, but you play all the time, and you just want to be in a guild with people of your, whatever place you are at, and you want to be in a guild of that similarity, CC does matter to an extent, because almost every guild, like, let's say you start getting to the top 100 guilds, right? You start scrolling down, and you get into this area, top 100 guilds, or just top 0% or top 1%, you want to try to join one of these guilds, people are going to start asking, like, hey, it's not just like, we have an open spot, come for free. It's, hey, can you hit these requirements? Can you hit this CC? Can you hit this? And although, just because my, okay, I guess I'll get a little bit more. It's like, just because this is what I'm running right now, and I might not even end up using, like, how often am I going to use Valenti now? I built UR gear for her just because I got her 6/6 and things like that. But people do this, even though these gears end up getting quote-unquote wasted, people do this anyways because it is kind of a way to track their progression in the game, or try to achieve a better standing in the game, whether it's through a new guild, something like that. And it gets pretty competitive once you get to the actual... Oh, really gotta work on my box CC. That's fine. Okay. So, it gets pretty competitive once you start actually getting to the higher guilds. Like, you start, once you want to get into one of the top 100 guilds, people care about your CC. So that is one reason why, and mathematically, Escanor is one of the highest, or if you want the most optimal CC team in existence, Escanor belongs on that team with an HP defense set. And same with, I believe this is correct, right? Like the Valenti ends up becoming king. Like if this was Fat King, I think that is the highest CC team you could run, assuming all 8 people had HP defense UR gear. But I'll work on the king just to get him replaced in the meantime. I don't have gems at the moment. I'm not worrying about it right now. But over time, I'll get the king UR gear. So yeah, that's really it. It's a personal preference on how you want to play the game, and neither one is correct. It's just what do you want to do, right? If you want to play PvP more, you don't really care about your CC number, but you want to get higher in PvP, you want to have a stronger team, attack defense is definitely the way. If you care more about, you don't care about PvP as much, you'll play it from time to time, and you'd rather have a, use this as kind of like a box showcase or a team showcase, and that's your goal, right? To make the strongest team you possibly can, then HP defense is the way to go. Now, to keep in mind, I can go into PvP right now, and I'll have no issues using Escanor in PvP, especially if I put him on mono red with the new red Escanor. I'll have zero issues running this, running Escanor in PvP. But you never know, with future Escanors, maybe they're going to be way more attack orientated, and you're going to lose out on a lot of benefits by not having an attack defense set. But HP defense can never go wrong. That's really it. So that's my preference. That's my reasoning. Maybe cleared up some, why you should do one over the other. And that's pretty much always the reasoning for majority of these units, is why make one over the other. It really comes down to, if it's not like obvious, like, oh, Lilia should get HP defense set, or Valenti should get HP defense set. It's those units that are in between that you're like, I'm not really sure if I should give them one or the other. This is typically the reasoning that you use to choose one. Personal preference at the end of the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be making a video on CC as a whole and giving more in depth on kind of how to optimally get a high CC and strive for like 200k CC as a goal, right? Like strive for that 200k CC marker, because that's typically like, even on JP, before they released Super Awakening, like 200k CC was kind of like, if you're above this number, you're doing well, right? You're doing real well. Because even though JP is so far ahead, if you simply remove the Super Awakening, we are borderline the same. They do have costume enhancements. That doesn't affect, it affects CC, but it doesn't affect CC that much. And we can already see people, like, it took me months to get 200k CC, like a year probably, almost, to get it on JP, where it only took me a couple months here. Because once you do it once, and it becomes obvious on how to proceed, it's not as much of a challenge. Also, the rate at which we're going. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. That's really it for now, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.